Right guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm just getting in from work. This has arrived. I'm getting it early because of the White Dwarf subscription. And it actually works out a little bit cheaper as well if you subscribe. You end up getting 2 free issues a year. It's £15 for 3 issues over 3 months. So you're saving half an issue every quarter. So, I don't know about you guys, but I'm super excited to find out what's in here. And I've just noticed the camera could do with a slight zoom out. There we go. Right, let's have a look and see what we've got. It is the 40th anniversary issue. I can't even pronounce his name, but Grombrindal is in here as well. So let's have a look. Haven't even opened this yet. Let's see if there's any news on 8th edition though. Let's have a look. Contents. We've got 40 years of White Dwarf, so a bit of a look back at that. A couple of interviews, more 40 year stuff. Battle report. We've got some paint tutorials, Shadow War kill teams, and a few other things, but let's go and have a look and see what we've got. So a bit of information about the 40th anniversary stuff there. That's the model. I've seen it floating around on Facebook, and here is the star player 40th birthday Grombrindal, and of course I think it's the Black Gobbo. Oh, and the rules are on page 128 as well, so we'll have a look at that. And that, it's only $17.50 for them, so that's not bad. Not bad at all. Of course, model of the month, Grombrindal in there. And he's got the Mark 50 power armor. That's quite amusing. Let's have a look. Ah, right, we've got the terrain pieces that are coming out. These are part of the Shadow Wars terrain pits, so you've got the Promethean Forge and the Ferrotonic Incinerator. It's interesting that they've released these because they're actually combination sprues that you can get the furnace. You got the other thing with the, I can't think what it's called, like a dome, and then you get the walkways and another piece. And what they've done is they've simply repackaged different parts of the sprue. So you've repackaged the furnace itself with half the walkway. On this one you've got half of the other piece with half the walkway, and I know the other ones are very similar as well. And of course you've got the galvanic servo haulers, which look awesome. I want them, definitely want them. And of course you've got the Sector Mechanicus bases as well. The scenery's not massive. I don't think the scenery's particularly cheap. It could be cheaper. I was fortunate enough that I managed to get a Shadow Wars box, and I got another piece of the terrain as well, so I've got enough for what I want. Latest from Forge World, this is for, I believe, the Hobbit. That's massive. I think that's an Imperial Knight base. And we've got Iron Warrior, Tyrant, Siege Terminators, which have all got Cyclone missile launchers. And of course we've got some of the trolls on there as well. It's nice that they are supporting the Hobbit as well, of course. Video game news, we've got Blood Bowl 2 updates. I'm not sure what this is, but Space Hulk now out on home consoles. I didn't realise Space Hulk was actually out now. And it's all, Deathwatch is also, wow. I'm going to have to get these, I think. And Space Hulk Ascension. I didn't even know. I've only got an Xbox One. I'm going to have a look into those. Tales from the Black Library. I'm not a Black Library fan myself. I struggle to read. I'm more of a numbers guy. Jane's Art. That one looks really cool. And of course the Eye of Medusa. And obviously more. We've got Azrael there as well. So nice that there's so much support from the Black Library. Latest releases, we've got the Arcanaut Company from the Caradron Overlords. I know Phil has started the Caradron Overlords, so I expect to see them soon. We've got a couple of the characters there as well, and I saw these when we went down to Warhammer World to play Dom and Tom from Black Toad Studios. They were in the display cabinet, and my word, they are beautiful miniatures. There we go, we've got the little jump infantry guys. I love what they've done with the stems, they're kind of curved now as well. And I think it looks so much better than the standard one straight up in the middle. It gives a lot more support from what I've seen as well. Thunderers. And of course the character there with the giant balloon. And the flyers. I haven't read the transport rules, but based on the leaks that we've had for 8th edition 40k, I'm guessing it's going to be pretty much the same. I know Spiky Bits did a, the Long War did a talk on what they think was going to happen. Phil's already built this model and I've seen it, and it is fantastic. It's beautiful, and I cannot wait till he finishes painting it. And that must be the giant one, the ironclad. Available from the 6th of May, so that must have gone up for pre-order this week. That is a beautiful and ginormous model. So lots of background information. You've probably seen the picture of this on the Warhammer Age of Sigmar page as well. A skirmish game for Age of Sigmar. I think that's quite cool. Me and Lucy will definitely be getting in on it. I think it'll be really interesting, especially since she's got so much Stormcast. And of course I've got so much Bloodbound and Demons, and of course expanding into a new army that you may have seen on the channel or hinted at. We've got the 40-year history of White Dwarf, and of course the free miniatures that have came with it as you go. You had the original clipped together Space Marine, the Stormcast Liberator, and the Slaughter Priest. There's loads of those guys flying around, and I've nabbed up 4 of them for my Khorne Bloodbound army. But I remember I used to collect in 2nd edition, and I used to buy White Dwarf back then when it was like £3. And you know, obviously price increase and stuff, you know, it's like 15, well, more. Wow, that was a long time ago anyway. But I used to love collecting the old retro editions. And of course, looking back through the ages there as well, you've got the painting guides that you had in the past, and of course some of the newer stuff that you had there as well. Nice to see some of the old covers along the front as they develop. You've got all the background of Grombrindal, all the information for him there, different miniatures that he's been part of. Tales told by the dwarf, so this must be extra comics and things. I remember Inferno. You got the first issue free with the White Dwarf off when I used to collect years ago as well. It was actually a cool little comic series. Loads of information there about contact from Facebook. We've got the Dark Baroque, John Blanche, been associated with GW 40 years now, wow. I remember reading obviously a lot of White Dwarfs with him in back in the day. I say that in the day, it's only 15 years ago. Space Hulk, Dreadfleet. This is when I started buying White Dwarf here. I had a lot of these ones here. Hero Quest and Space Crusade, I actually had them as a kid and sold all of them unfortunately when I left the hobby. This is a massive article, but again, this piece of art, this is from first, second edition, and this is what got me into the game. Absolutely brilliant stuff. Let's move forward. Wow. That is fantastic. I do like these little articles that they do in White Dwarf where they've basically converted up an entire army very, very heavily. So I mean, here I can tell some of the models. You've got some Gene Stealer. I think it's Gene. Yeah, that's definitely a Gene Stealer neophyte. You've got some cultists. That's absolutely Greyfax, and of course Call and a Sakaran Rust Stalker there as well. This is what got me into Blood Angels in the first place. I do have this model and I need to get him painted up actually. But yeah, this was on the cover of the second edition box set, which was the Blood Angels versus Orcs with the cardboard Killer Khan. You've got a lot of the artwork there as well from back in the second edition. Believe it or not, the artwork was actually very, very dark. But the miniatures were very cartoony, even the way they were painted up and everything. What have we got here? Some of the early Golden Demon Awards. And I remember these White Dwarfs very, very well actually. Very nice Dorito Dreadnought there with the plasma cannons. Killer Khan and Leviathan Dreadnought. Aramin. We've got Primus there. I recognise a lot of these names from seeing them on Facebook. 40 years of heavy metal, so we've got a lot of the details about how the painting displays and tutorials have developed over the years as well. This was a relic basically when I used to collect, sort of 16 years ago plus, and it is actually available to be able to see it at Warhammer World. Like I said, it was there. I think it was the Easter holidays I went down, and the exhibition was only £1 to get in, and normally I wouldn't have bothered going back in because I only go in every sort of 3 or 4 times I head to Warhammer World, but it's always a pleasure to see. Obviously, being a Blue Angels fan, seeing Sanguinius there, it brings a tear to my heart. But it would be interesting to see a modern day take on this, because obviously these are Rogue Trader era Terminators. So it would be interesting to see a modern day take on it actually. There we go, we've got the entire Caradron Overlord army there, I believe. I don't know whether or not these can be built as multiple units. That's something we'll have to get Phil in for. We've got the development of battle reports through the 40 years as well. It's going to be very, very long but interesting reading. I'm actually looking forward to sitting down and reading this. Is this the battle report? I think it's to show the development of the battle reports. Wow! This is striking and I like it a lot. There's a Balewind Vortex in a crater. Wow, that's brilliant. I wish the boards that they had on here were available at Warhammer World. Obviously there's a lot of themed boards at Warhammer World, but not to the extent that you see them in the White Dwarfs. Obviously there is the battle report. I am going to skip forward through that as you don't want to see all of that, and I'll leave it to you guys to read it and find out what's going on. Of course, details of the Azir wrap there as well, which I have and is very, very good. We've got some painting tutorials there, different textures for skin and tones, and of course painting up. I can't even say his name. How bad's that? Imperial Might. We've got the double page spread or quad page spread there of the Imperial Guard Regiment as it marches out. This is again is a display that's available to see at Warhammer World, and it is something that I've seen in person, and it is absolutely fantastic seeing the regimented Lehman Russ and everything up there. Because I was there over Easter, actually, that had an egg hidden in here. It was quite a size, you know, at least as big as an Easter egg, and it was sprayed in camo and tan, which was not that well hidden, and you had to basically find the 4 to get a free cream egg. It was cool that they did that, so yeah, it is a fantastic display and an absolute must-see for any Guard player that's out there. Right, so we've got the development of the Tale of 4 Warlords. I think they started 40k last edition. So, here we go, yeah. Got the Space Marines, the Astra, Chaos Marines, and of course the Eldar there as well. Finishing in a mini battle report. Details on Shadow War kill teams. And I want to say it's Gene Sailor Cult, but they look converted to have the rays on the heads, and we've got the Space Wolf Scouts there as well. We've got Tau Fire Warriors. Love the terrain. I need to get mine painted up actually. I've got it all cut out and ready to go. Just cleaned up the last few off cuts. I do love the detail and weathering effect on the yellow, so I might actually go yellow with mine. And the Master of Fate. Right, so this is details and rules for Shadows of Hammerall with the new Overlord characters in there. It's not something I've played, but I've heard it is very, very good. Very Hero Quest-esque. And that is obviously Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit rules as well. It's great that they're actually supporting games like that. even though the Hobbit's obviously been out for quite a while. And of course Blood Bowl, they're still supporting Blood Bowl very heavily. There we go, there's the rules for Grumbrindal and the Black Gobbo. Got more players and everything in there, and a little bit of tactics about caging people in. That's interesting actually, because like when I played against Tom, I struggled quite a bit because I've only played a couple of games of Blood Bowl. Tom's been playing it for years, so I think that's something that I'll definitely need to give a read to. And of course we've got details of Warhammer World there as well, with the exclusive miniatures that you can pick up. So you've got the Bugman's models, you've got the Stormcast Errant Questor, you've got Grattan Crumbleberry, you've got some of the Forge World models as well for the Space Marines, you've got the Command Tanks. There's loads of exclusive stuff to Warhammer World. Let's have a look down here what we've got. So we've got some Tyranid Warriors. I like the Tyranid Warriors painted up in the old-fashioned style there as well. We've got a Celestant Prime. You haven't actually seen Lucy's Prime on the channel yet, so hopefully we'll see that soon. A Khorne Slaughter Priest. Some Blood Bowl players. Imperial Knight. Some Custodes there as well, and is that a Thousand Suns Contemptor? Lee Clements. Lee is a fantastic, amazing painter. I've seen a lot of his work all over Facebook and in a couple of groups that I'm actually in, so this stuff is amazing. You'll notice how fantastic his highlight is. It's absolutely outstanding, so it's great to see Lee getting some recognition in there. In the bunker, so we've got some details of the crates and who's been painting stuff up for, of course, White Dwarf over the years. And wow, that's interesting. It's already been 8 issues since Games Workshop went monthly with the White Dwarfs again. So more details of Kharidan Overlords there. And of course pictures of it in there. Now this is what we want to see next month. It says White Dwarf June 2017, on sale Friday the 16th of June. Grim Darkness Far Future, Only War, Battle Report, A Tale of 4 Warlords, and much more. And of course the rumoured 8th edition is supposed to be out the week before that, or Saturday the 17th of June is the approximation date. We will have to see what comes though, but I am really excited about what is coming. I want to get my nose dug into this because I want to read about the background and the history. I've got loads of old codexes and White Dwarfs, and I love going back to them to see all the retro pictures. So that is it. That is the May 2017 issue of White Dwarf. I hope you've enjoyed that very quick look through. Please check out the rest of the channel and have a look at the battle reports, the reviews and tutorials that's there. And please give me a subscribe and like the video. But until next time folks, thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you soon.